Hello lovely people, welcome to Real Life with Abby. My name is Abimbola. Thank you for stopping by. So if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button and then click on the bell to turn your notification on so you can be notified whenever I post new videos. If you've already subscribed, thank you for coming back. It's good to see you again. So there's this very sad story of a Nigerian woman who returned to Lagos, Nigeria after 35 years in London. She built a hotel in Ojodubaja area of Lagos, Nigeria. Her name was Mrs. Abimbola Olushola. This woman built this hotel and then went home with her young son who is 12 years old. And apparently, according to information, this woman was defrauded by some of the staff she employed to work in the hotel. Some of them were sacked and some of them were arrested. But unfortunately, these people planned and they killed this woman and the hotel manager. So the Lagos State Police have arrested one of the suspected killers of Mrs. Olushola and her manager Tunji Omekunle. And the suspect, whose name is Vincent Ehizoje, when he was interrogated, confessed to be an employee of the hotel. And he stated that he worked with 4 other workers who have already run away. So they are yet to be found. Those other 4 people are yet to be found. So according to the police, the suspects were revealed when the police watched the CCTV mounted in the hotel. And this suspect that has been arrested, this Ehizoje, was arrested in Port Harcourt, River State, where he was hiding. And the suspect during interrogation revealed that the deceased were strangled, that both of them were strangled. During the interrogation, Ehizoje Vincent Jeffrey, that's the name of the suspect that was arrested in Port Harcourt, revealed that they conspired to kill this woman because they thought they had no future in the company and they felt the deceased was stingy. So he said they agreed that she must be robbed of her hard-earned local and foreign currency, being a London returnee. In order to have a hitch-free operation, they agreed that Henry Lolo, currently at large, must prepare a fast food called Indomie, a delicacy loved by all staff members, and lace it with sleep-inducing stimulant called SK, to be served the rest of the staff who were not part of the conspiracy. Their plan, they said, worked, as every other member of staff slept off except for the late manager, who was already asleep before they served them the food. So because the manager did not eat out of this poisoned food, when these guys were trying to take the key from his pocket, the key to Mrs. Olushola's bedroom from his pocket, he woke up. So they began to struggle. And whilst they were struggling, they strangled the manager. After strangling the manager, they searched his pocket but could not find the key, and then they went upstairs to Mrs. Olushola's bedroom and forced the door open. And apparently this woman was not expecting anybody, so she was shocked when they came in, and then they bound her hand and leg, and by the time they were through, the woman had died. So they bound her up, and by the time they finished what they were going to do, she died. The gang stole her money, they stole her jewelries and other personal effects, but couldn't take them out of the hotel because there were policemen stationed very close to the hotel. So these wicked people abandoned the loot in the hotel, and the loot has been recovered by the police. And the CCTV footage that the police recovered from the hotel showed the role played by each of the participants in the crime, although some of them are still at large, but they've got this Ehizoje guy. Can you imagine how difficult it is to make honest money in London enough to build a hotel in Nigeria, a hotel as big as what that woman built in Lagos? It is so sad that one cannot have confidence to go to their home country. Why should people be afraid to go home? That's a question I've been asking myself since. Why should I be afraid when I want to go to Nigeria? Why should every other person be afraid when you want to go home? That's why when people ask, sometimes when you ask people in diaspora where is home for them, and they tell you home is where they have peace, home is where they have confidence in the system, home is where their family feels safe, home is where I feel safe. Yes, there is robbery abroad and other crimes, but the rate at which this happens in Nigeria is horrible, and it is very, very sad. This lady opened the hotel in March 2018. She was just 56 years old, and unfortunately was discovered by her son, who is just 12 years old. So her son discovered her body, her lifeless body, in her bedroom, a 12-year-old boy. Apparently, according to the family member, a family member that did not want to be identified, Mrs. Olushola planned to lease out this hotel and return to London when her life was cut short. Imagine the trauma for the 12-year-old boy. Do you feel this boy will ever be able to forget what has happened to him in Nigeria? They robbed him of his mother at his age, a boy of 12. These lazy men who don't want to work and want the easy way out have destroyed 2 families. They've destroyed the family of Mrs. Olushola. They've destroyed the family of the manager, who is reported to have a set of twins. He has been survived by a wife and a set of twins. Apparently, his wife just gave birth to a set of twins. Imagine those twins will never know who their father is. They would never see their father. So these twins will grow up and be told stories of how these animals kill their father. Over how much? Over what? There is no security in Nigeria apart from God's protection. The police sometimes are the ones that actually give these men of the night information, and they provide them with ammunition as well. I can imagine how hardworking that woman would have been to gather that money to invest. The hotel offered employment opportunities to people, reducing the amount of jobless ones in the society. It's really sad that this has happened. With this recent incident, will anyone really be encouraged to pack their bags and baggages and say, I'm relocating back home, I'm going back to Nigeria? I will think 5 times, not twice. I will think 5 times before I can actually think of anything like that. And I know a lot of people that will think 100 times before they even make any attempt to say they are relocating to Nigeria. It's really scary, and it's really sad that you cannot decide one day that you want to go back home because of some animals that are there that can do anything just because they want to make some a few thousands of naira and steal some jewelries. It's so sad. I've got a lot of people here who are Nigerian but have never been to Nigeria and wish to go, even if it's just for a visit. But by the time they hear all these stories, they are so scared they cannot even think about it. So they cancel. Every time they think, oh, I want to go to Nigeria, they only just want to come for holiday. But by the time the stories come up, they hear these things, they are so scared. They just stop. They just decided to stay back. There are so many stories of people sending money to family members to help them invest, and by the time they get to Nigeria and ask for whatever the investment was, they discovered nothing has been done. Even mothers are not left out. Mothers actually defraud their own children and send assassins to them. When those ones get home and there's nothing to show for all the money, all the hard work they've done, all the money they've sent to Nigeria, and nothing has been done. The mother has spent all the money partying, buying clothes, buying jewelries, and doing all sorts. They end up sending killers to these people. I know it's really bad. Anyway, God help us all. If one is planning to go to Nigeria, you must start fasting and praying months before you embark on that journey. But if you are going on holiday from the UK or from the US to any Western country, all you pray about is that your plane will not crash, there will be no hijack. But when you go to Nigeria, you have to pray against armed robbery, you have to pray against kidnap, you have to pray against police wahala, you have to pray against immigration problems. God Almighty, it's really sad. It's really sad. We need help in that country. Something's got to give. I can tell you stories of so many people that have left this country. They have left the UK, they have left US to Nigeria to invest, thinking they're going to do something good in their country. I have a cousin that actually had a big restaurant here in the UK, and he decided to go to Lagos to actually open a restaurant, a branch of that restaurant in Lagos. He opened the branch in Ogba area. One day he was just there in the afternoon, and armed robbers went to this restaurant and they shot at people. They killed some of the customers that came to eat. They made away with all the money they had. They collected everything they had. This guy was lucky. My cousin was very lucky. At least he was alive. He ran back to the UK. Everything he had invested, he invested thousands of pounds in that restaurant and getting himself an apartment, settling, trying to settle down there, thinking he was going home. He ran back to the UK. He left everything and ran back to the UK. There was another case of somebody in the US that went to Nigeria to start a business as well. He went with a container of all sorts of things, with spare parts, cars and all that, and the people he sold these things to, they did not pay him. Eventually what they did was to start chasing him around and try to kill him. He left everything and went back to the US and had to start all over again. It is so sad that we cannot go to our country. We don't have the confidence to pack our things and say, I am tired of where I am, I'm going home. They say that means home should be where the heart is. But home to me now, home to most people now, is where you have peace, where you have security. I can leave my house now at this time of the night. I go to church in the night for night vigil. I'm alone in the car and I come back home and I'm not afraid to come back home. But you cannot even try that in Lagos. You can't try that in Nigeria. You'll be so scared of what is going to happen to you. Anyway, that's it for me today, lovely people. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. I hope justice will be done and these animals that have done this horrible thing will be duly punished. The ones that ran away must be captured. They have to be found and the book has to be thrown at each and every one of them. Although this is not going to bring back Mrs. Olushola and the poor manager that was killed with the family left without a father, but at least let justice be done. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Love you all. Bye.